all you fabulous females out there. This is Louise Fennell coming to you from mmtv, and my guest today is Shannan Hanson, and she's going to talk to you about a subject that is very important to so many of you out there. Unfortunately, I'm old enough that it's long in the past for me, but I wish Shannan had been around at the time because I certainly could have used her. Shannan, would you tell the people out there just what it is you do?
Sure. Hi, Louise. Thank you so much for having me on the show today. I'm really excited to be here. I was recently certified as a menopause coach. So what I am doing now is I'm working with women in midlife and helping them in various stages of this transition. Everything from helping that, everything within this life. So.
How about, I know, my daughters are more at the age that we're talking about, and but I recall lots of friends talking about hot flashes and, having to get up during the night and change the bed and change themselves. And I personally didn't go through that. But it wasn't because it was great. It was because I was hemorrhaging. I think I might have preferred hot flashes.
Goodness.
But anyway, and at the time, I didn't know of anyone to really give me help. It was just kind of a matter of suffer through it.
Yep. We've heard that so many times, and honestly, that's what got me into this path. About 2020, I actually received a podcast from someone that got me on this path, and I was 48 at the time. I didn't think anything about menopause. I had some friends that were about 5 years older than me that were starting to talk about hot flashes and all of that. And I am just a consummate learner. So I started going down this path where I probably listened over the course of the last 5 years, 300 plus podcasts on menopause.
Wow.
I know, it's been crazy. And I'm a consumer of information. So as I'm starting to consume all this information, I'm sharing and I'm talking about it. And I just realized that so many people were like, what are you talking about? And as I started to talk about it, it became more than just hot flashes and night sweats. It was things that no one thought about, like, why is my hair falling out? Why are my ears itchy? Why is my heart racing? I had at one point gone to the doctor thinking I was having panic attacks and anxiety, and I found out after it was just another symptom of menopause, and they wanted to put me on depressants. And I'm like, no. So it led me down this path of like, okay, if I don't have this information, how many other people don't? And what can I do to start disseminating that and sharing what I'm learning?
Yeah. So are there courses to learn about this?
There are. I actually, last year, started looking into a lot of different courses, and there are so many. It's one of those things, the algorithm on Facebook, once you start looking at one thing, it comes up with 20 different courses out there. And there's a lot of self-paced. There's a lot that, slapped their name on something and pretended, and just kind of threw the name menopause out there and kind of started to look at different just different information. I actually went through a course called Women of a Certain Stage with a woman that's actually in the UK, but our cohort base was in the UK, in the US, overseas, in many different countries, actually. And what I liked about her is her program was over 18 weeks. It was specialists within the menopause space focusing on different areas. From there, we kind of talked about coaching, and then we left with a 7-week, what we called the menopause plan. And it will evolve, and coaching in general evolves, but what it does is it provides a really great framework, not only to talk to women, just to get them start the conversation, but also kind of guide them through the different areas that you might not even think about as you start thinking about this stage of life and what happens next.
So do you coach people individually? Is it like a talk session or?
No, so
what happens?
It's a great question, and it's been really interesting. So the people that I've been working with, they generally we start out with an intake. Tell me a little bit about what's been going on, how you've been feeling. It's always interesting because everyone comes in with all their symptoms. Mm-hmm. And the large majority come in saying, I just want to feel like myself again, or I don't know what's happening. So we go through, and each person is a little different. I've talked to them about the basics, really, to start. So it's a lot of it's really not even menopause related. It's really about things like, are you hydrating properly? What are your morning and evening routines? What's getting in your way and stopping you from feeling the way you want to be feeling? So I'm not a doctor. I will never pretend to be. If they're looking at HRT or different ways.
What is HRT?
Hormone replacement therapy.
Okay.
There's some amazing women, even in the Melrose community, that can help in that area. I am not a doctor. I'm really, as you're looking at hormone replacement therapy or different ways that you're looking at, like working within your life, I'm there to kind of help and coach. And really part of it is just saving space for you, for the person that I'm working with, and providing a place and a space that they can just talk openly. So many times, what they think they're coming in to talk about, like, I want to exercise more, or I want to eat better, are generally the top two things. By the end of a 7-8 week coaching session, those aren't even in the top three.
Really?
Which is crazy. And a lot of it becomes what I'd call 1% gains. So it's like, can I do something a little bit better, like 1% better, and how do I feel doing that? Can I change one habit just a little bit to get me feeling like I'm more in control? So a lot of it really, it's been eye-opening to be a part of it, both in the coaching sessions and then doing my own coaching, to see that evolution in a very short period of time.
So do you have an office, or do people come to your home or
right
on the
now?
phone,
Right now a lot of it's been over Zoom. I'm working on some space potentially in Melrose. I'm looking at sharing some office space potentially, so watch that space. Nothing as of yet. But I'm looking to do more group coaching, and I'd like that to be more in person than remote. You can do remote group coaching as well, and the whole goal around the group coaching would be to be able to have that cohort when you're done, to have those people that you can rely on. I mean, what I've seen in the space as a whole has really been about the community part of it. So many women feel like they've been on this journey by themselves, and they're turning to ChatGPT, and they're turning to TikToks and the internet, and there's so much confusing information out there. So what I've been trying to do in Melrose in particular is trying to build community and a space where people could come, share their stories, get some education, and just, kind of just be and feel like they're not alone.
Oh, I would have loved someone like you. Because there is that feeling of, like, this isn't happening to anybody else, or, that sort of thing. And wow. So are you certified? Is that what?
I am. I am certified as a certified menopause coach.
Is that a new field?
It's. I think it's not necessarily a new field. I think it's become more popular recently. Again, with menopause being menopause is having its moment, so to speak. It's in its own hot flash right now, and a lot of people are starting to talk about it. There's celebrities talking about it. There's, so much more information. There's more books that have been released in the last couple of years than there haven't been in the last 20.
Oh, can you name a few?
There is The New Menopause by Mary Claire Haven, which is a great one. There is And of course, now that you're asking for the books, none of them are coming to my brain.
Of course.
But there's
okay.
so many great books out there right now on the subject. And there's a lot of new podcasts that are coming out as well.
Oh,
So,
sure.
Yeah, there's always, depending on how you like to consume information, there's a lot of great information out there right now.
Oh, great. How did you get started on this whole thing?
That's a great question. It honestly, as I mentioned, I started in 2020 just kind of consuming information. And then last August, I've been in the software industry for the last 20 years, working post sales and really just in a really crazy job, going up the chain, starting as a manager, going into the C-level, managing teams of people and really just embracing the startup world. And then a few years ago, everything started to change. I blamed it on COVID. I thought it was just, what was happening. But all of a sudden, I started having panic attacks. I was sweating and freezing at the same time. I had just a lot of things, and I started to lose my confidence. And then last August, I lost my job. It was, kind of a startup that was not doing very well. And I took the opportunity to breathe and look and reevaluate what I wanted to do next. And I had already had these visions of wanting to do meetups within the community and wanting to do more in the space and already doing the coaching and the training. My initial thought was I wanted to help other women executives or women in the workplace because it felt like there were so many people as I started to talk to them that were suffering or that felt like they were losing confidence or sitting in meetings being embarrassed because they had to turn their cameras off or they had to walk out of a meeting because they were having a hot flash. And they had nowhere to turn. Yep. So it started for me just thinking about education in the workplace. And what I realized I was probably about 2 years too early. That's now starting to be more of a thing. But then when I lost my job, I started in November. I threw out on a Facebook group like a Melrose Menopause meetup, not knowing where it would go and who would join. And I had about 12 people.
Really?
And I was blown away. And and it's funny because I'm one of those, I always have my PowerPoints, I always have my notes. And we let the conversation just unfold. And it really was it was so amazing to see this group of women that many of them didn't know one another, just sharing some really personal things in a really safe space. And
where was the space?
At the Worklery in Melrose.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Mel Landon is a friend of mine, and she was gracious enough to provide the space for me for that first meetup. And so we've been
neat.
Having the meetups there about once a month, and it started from just a group to then inviting different local resources from the community in to speak. So we had a local resource to talk about pelvic floor, another talk about HRT, another talk about...
When you use terms,
sorry.
Explain them. Okay.
Sorry, no, that's perfect. So we had... Alex DeGrotto, who owns Boston Pelvic Floor, come in and talk about pelvic floor and what that means, kind of what that means to women in later stages and some things that they can do. And it was, again, like conversations you're not having in the regular everyday conversations, but necessary conversations. And then we had Megan Price had come in to talk from Mystic Valley Health to talk about hormone replacement therapy, which is basically as women age, they lose estrogen and progesterone and different hormones and just different ways as, depending on a lot of things that I am not certified nor would want to talk about. But looking at, the different ways that you can that assistance can be provided in the forms of some of those different hormones. And then we had had other speakers along the way, and I actually have a full lineup starting this Wednesday. I have speakers once a month to talk about everything from sleep to movement to breath work, and just different topics that aren't necessarily different, but can impact women differently as they approach midlife.
And how do people get in touch with you?
You can go. I just launched my website.
Great.
Just recently. It's cairosstrategies.com. It's CAIROS strategies.com. Or you can look me up on LinkedIn, Shannan Hanson. On LinkedIn, I can provide that. It's SHANNAN. So I spell my name a little differently. So it's easier to find me as a result of that. But those are probably the best places right now. I'm also on Facebook. And I, as a result of the meetup group, we started It's Not You, It's Menopause Facebook group. So we have about 250 women on the Facebook group right now as well.
Really?
So, yeah, it's honestly, if you talked to me last year and said this was going to be where I was a year later, I would not have believed you.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. Whoa. Oh, you women out there are so lucky, really, that things like this are happening now. Yeah. Wow, that is incredible. Oh, boy. So is there anything that I have not asked you that you want to...
Yeah, I think the only thing I would say is, two things. One is, this stage of life, I feel like when women talk about the midlife, they always start with symptoms. And I think for me, it's really about the opposite. It's about how do you look at this stage of life and empower yourself into what's next and what else you can be doing, and look at it, from that mindset of transition, not stopping, but really just transforming into what's next. And the other thing I will mention, if I can, is that we, as a result of just the conversations that have been happening in Melrose, we are putting together a Melrose Menopause Summit.
Whoa!
Yeah, it's October 25th. It will be at the Knights of Columbus, and it really is taking the meetups to the next level. So it's really around education, community, and storytelling. So we'll have local community resources available that either specialize in or can help in this midlife stage of life, and then speakers that will talk about it more holistically. So a lot of what I mentioned with everything from movement to hormones to some topics that you don't even think of. I mean, one that's a big one is decluttering, both personal and mental. So I'm really looking forward to the event, and that is also on my website right now. The event information is on there as well.
Okay. Why don't you give your website one more time?
Okay. It's Cairos, CAIROS strategies.com.
Okay. Great. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, our time is up, but I've learned a lot, and I wish you had been there several years ago. But this was really very informative. And for all you people who are listening, be sure to get in contact with Shannan, because this sounds like really valuable information and just a place to go and know that you're not alone. That is so wonderful. For all of you out there, I hope you have an interesting and wonderful rest of the day. This is Louise Fennell coming to you from MMTV. Good night to everyone.